Well, hi. It's Groundhogpeggy, and here at the Groundhogpeggy Music School, we got groundhogs piling up at the door, asking for stuff. Somebody asked about clawhammer banjo. Friend of ours that lives in Hawaii, he used to play clawhammer banjo, and I think he's already a pretty good banjo player. But anyway, I learned a special style of clawhammer. It's a really bangy, poundy kind of style. I learned it off of Dwight Diller. I actually went to West Virginia and I saw Dwight Diller in person and spent a little time. And he kind of helped me. We had emails going back and forth for a few years before that, where we talked about it. And finally, he said, "Come on out here and let's see what's going on." So I learned a lot from him. And I don't exactly do it his way. And he learned it from some people that had lived in Whitley County where we lived. And during the Civil War, they moved up to his county in West Virginia to get out of bad situations. Um, so anyhow, he learned from them, and he did it a little different than they did it. I learned from him this way, and I do it different than he does it, because fiddle people always say that if you learn from somebody, it's like if you learn to write manuscript, writing from your teacher, you're not going to write just like your teacher. You're still going to put yourself into it, and that's what we all do, I guess. So here's my way. That's what I'm getting at. This is just my way. It's based on Dwight's way and the Hammond's way, but it's morphed into my way. And if you start doing it, it'll morph into your way, and that's a great thing. So what what I think of is, there's a lot of ways to play clawhammer, and people, I used to do it, and I can't even do it how I used to do it, so I won't try. But you know how people do it. But I that left my mind. Now I can only play it this other way. But when I think of clawhammer, this style, this hard hitting style of clawhammer, you think of a clawhammer, and you think of your hand is kind of like claw hammer, like you can hammer nails with it. I mean, and it stays that way. It's You don't move your fingers, you don't move your thumb. It's all one unit that's stuck like a hammer. Even your arm, if you move your wrist, you're going to mess up that pounding motion. So it's almost like your whole arm here becomes like you're playing it with a claw hammer. And what you're doing is, with part of the hammer, you're hitting the strings this way, and then with the other part of the hammer, your thumb is actually getting stuck on the fifth string, and it's kind of snagging it and letting it go. So, so your hands motion is like a claw hammer. Like, just pretend like you're holding a claw hammer and you're flipping it to play the banjo with that. It's a flipping thing. But besides that, you have I think everybody that's learned any kind of claw hammer has heard of the bum diddy thing that you do. Kind of like, let's see if I can try it on Cripple Creek, because that's a big banjo thing people know. So it's kind of like that's that's the bum diddy, bum diddy. So the first bum, you're hitting any string you want with the back of your index finger. So it's like bum, then you hit it again, did, and then on the D, your thumb is snagging on there. And with this style, you're going to kind of slam down on it. Can you see it? So you're not doing that. That's a different style. On this style, you're going. So your hand kind of flips, because all this is kind of stiff. And you hit it again, and your thumb gets caught. Then, the way Dwight described it, which I thought was a great description, you keep that rhythm going, and then you drop the melody notes into it. Like this rhythm is a pool of water, he said. And then he said, you drop pebbles into the pool of water. That's your notes. So you don't want to concentrate on your notes. You want to concentrate on the rhythm. The notes are subject to the rhythm. So the notes might have to go rearranged a little bit for them to drop into this rhythm. So I'm guilty of, once in a while I do break that rhythm. I know I'm doing it because I guess I'm just not a purist. But according to Dwight, you should never break your rhythm. You should mess with the melody more than the rhythm. So anyway, let's try it real slow on Cripple Creek. We're going, and then so the notes are. Oh, I'm sorry. And then it's. I think you would probably have to hammer that on, but I'm not sure. I have to play it to know. You can, do it however works, I guess. So let's try that on the bum Diddy, and then we'll try something else in a minute. See. So this part was on this string. Now, and Dwight's recommendation for people to practice this, because it's pretty important to get that, or I'm sorry, I was doing the wrong thing. Bum, diddy, bum, diddy. His recommendation, which worked out good for me, I did this a lot, is to muffle up the strings here, put on some kind of record, or they don't call them records now, whatever they're called, CD or some kind of music someplace that you want to play along with it. That's not real fast. That's not too fast for you. And then just practice that with no chords. Just bum, bum, diddy, bum, diddy, bum, diddy. And really get into exaggerating the where you're flipping. Bum, diddy, bum, diddy. I'm doing it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm doing a double thumb. I want to show that in a minute. Let's try again. It's like bum, diddy, bum, diddy, bum, diddy. You're hitting that. And when you do that, you'll get a big worn out place right here. You get a hole there. You might have to replace that. You get another one up there where the thumb is, because you're slamming on this thing and the thumb is hitting and getting caught on that string like a hammer, like that. So you put on, let's say you put on Cripple Creek. you just practice like that. So once you get to where you can, and it's almost like it's an elastic sort of reaction. See, when your thumb snags, it's almost like you got like elastic that's pulling you back down. These two are very quiet when you're really doing it right. It's and then you practice with some music, and don't play anything till you can get it a little more relaxed and comfortable. And then you finally learn to skip the part. We try it again. And I got off that rhythm a couple of times too, but and just practice it that way without music. I mean, without you playing music. Do that with whatever music that has the speed that you can keep up with to get a little faster and a little more relaxed. And it might take, a couple weeks or a month or something of practice. Then you drop those notes in. And just work at that. And then there's another thing that Dwight saw that the Hammonds actually mostly played double thumbing. So instead of doing this, bum, diddy, bum, diddy, bum, diddy, bum, diddy, they would do something that Dwight called boomalaka, which it's actually double thumb. So it's more like, and it's kind of is built when you do this bum diddy. It's like your thumb does kind of land there. Let me make it not right here. I can't make the beat. Okay. Okay, so your thumb lands. So all you have to do is snag it another time. Instead of bump, diddy, bump, diddy, bump, diddy, bump. You're going. There's still a harder one too. I'm exaggerating. You still have that elastic recoil. You're still flipping it like you're playing with a clawhammer and you're holding on to it. And what this allows you to do really is to do drop thumbing when you're playing stuff. I don't know how I would do it in this one, but Dwight Diller plays one. He plays one called Muddy Roads. It has a whole bunch of drop thumbing in it Because when you're doing this, when you're doing the double thumbing, you can start going and the second string is where you mostly will end up. However, there are times when you might end up doing it on this string. Or that's drop thumbing. This is double thumbing. And double thumbing. So that's kind of more the advanced technique after you got the bum diddy part of it down. Oh, I can't make these strings. When you got the bum diddy down, when you can do the bum diddy without really thinking about it and you can drop notes in, then you can start working on the double thumbing. The thing that really got me going with the double thumbing is that Dwight Diller plays a piece called Muddy Roads, and it's just about all drop thumb. Let me see. About as bad as I've ever played it, but it's got that lot of drop thumb. And they do that twice. He uses a big hammer on. That's how he plays it. I'm not pretending to play it anything like Dwight, but I'm saying that's how I think you're supposed to do it that way if you do it his way. And then it's got a middle part. And when you play just on these top strings, you're really not going to be able to bang down on that drum because you're up here. So you're just kind of stuck with. And then back onto that. I was going to say something else, but I forgot what it was. But this kind of banjo playing, you're using the back of this nail only. You're not using. I mean, these hit it, but you don't. If you try to use your other fingers, it'll just weaken. You know, if you try to. Some people do it with the middle finger, and you can't get that down. You know, you almost have to use your index really to get it. And I've heard of people wearing out their finger. I heard people like wear that fingernail right out. I guess I haven't ever played it enough to do that. But then I hear that the cure for that is to put a little bit of super glue on your nail and let it dry, and then it'll be back to playable. That's what I hear tell. I've never tried it, but I can't think if there's anything else that I'm thinking except really what you want to do is get the bum Diddy down real good first and practice that with some music, and then find something pretty easy like Cripple Creek, you know. And then also a lot of times you might be double thumbing and you're not drop thumbing the whole time. Like I haven't played this one in a long time, but I think that's where you would put a double thumb. I mean a drop thumb. Oh, I did it wrong. I did that really bad, but let's see. That's where you put the, I can't fit it in unless I'm not thinking about it. But you'd have places where you would only use that drop thumb here and there. You don't, it's just that on muddy roads is a good practice thing because you use it all the time, all the way through. You use it all the way through on that. I just played that wrong too. So I can't think of anything else. This last one was Kitchen Girl. And you do that twice, and then that's where you would put another drop thumb in. That's called Kitchen Girl. But anyway, that's all I can think of for clawhammer banjo. So let me know if I left something out. Good luck. Bye-bye.